For my project, I had decided to take a look at something that affects everyone to some capacity in their life. I decided to take a look at social media and the effects it has on a person's mental health. I want to first talk about what mental health is. I want to define mental health, share some signs of what someone who is suffering from mental health looks like, and statistics of mental health. Mental health is a person's emotional well-being that is about how a person thinks, feels, and behaves. That not only includes a person's emotional well-being, but their social, psychological, and physical well-being. Some signs of a person who might be suffering from a mental illness is someone who's having trouble eating and sleeping, someone who's withdrawn socially, has long-lasting sadness and irritability, along with various other signs, such as like hearing voices and being paranoid, and many more. Some statistics about individuals who suffer from a mental illness, which is about 51.5 million adults, which shows that it does not only affect adults, but it also affects children as well. I want to talk about social media by defining what social media is, along with giving examples of what kinds of platforms are social media, along with statistics of social media and their users. Social media can be defined as the use of technology that allows for the creation of being able to share information, ideas, or multimedia messages through various platforms. Here are some examples of social media, such as Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, YouTube, and many more that are not listed on this slide. In the United States, more than half the population actively uses social media, in which a person has more than one social media account. Women tend to use social media more than men, but their platform preferences differ as well, meaning that they use different types of social media. Now, I'm going to connect how social media can affect mental health by giving you my opinion and some statistics on social media use and the effect it has on people. In my opinion, I think that social media does affect a person's mental health, no matter the age and regardless of the gender. Being able to see what your peers or complete strangers, such as influencers, are doing in their life. Going on social media, seeing that someone from your high school is having the time of their life, to influencers showing how they can travel the world with no consequences of anything happening to them, making you wish that you could do what they're doing, giving you that sense of jealousy and that sense of doubt of your own self-worth, not being able to do what they can do. Being on social media has increased depression in children since most teens and young adults own smartphones. In a study of 8th graders, it shows that those who spend over 10 hours on social media per week, more than half of them reported to be unhappy than those who had spent less time on social media. I had conducted a survey of 32 people, asking them 7 questions about social media and the effects it has on their own mental health. Here are the results from that survey. For my first question, I had asked how old they were, which the majority of the people who took it were between the age of 18 and 24, so they were teens and young adults. When asked if they were considered male or female, majority of them were female who had taken the survey. 28 people had answered yes when social media affects your mental health. When asked what kinds of social media affects their mental health, they said that social media platforms such as Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, etc. were what affects it. When asked if they think social media has a positive or negative effect on their well-being, majority of them said that it had both a negative and positive effect. When asked how much time they spend on social media, 19 people had said that they spent 0 to 5 hours on social media, with 11 people saying that they spent 6 to 10 hours on social media. Although someone had said that they spent 15 plus hours on social media. In my survey, I had asked for people to put in their own words how social media affects their mental health, and here are some of the responses that were said. When reading the responses, majority of them had a negative connotation of social media, mentioning how people compare themselves to those who are online, makes it doubt their self-image, or making them feel anxious or depressed while on social media. Although some said that it had no effect because they hardly use social media. Here are two examples how social media affects my life and the life of a famous person, Naomi Oscar. From my personal experience of social media and the effects of it on my mental health, I'd be sitting on my phone, scrolling through the various platforms, looking at other people's posts, wishing that I could be like them. Wishing that I could be the one who would travel the world, try new experiences, like going to see the Great Wall of China, to seeing a field of beautiful flowers in another country. Instead of doing those cool things, I'm stuck in my home behind a phone watching other people do that, watching other people live their life while I sit in my boring town doing none of that, since I could not possibly think of doing any of that. At least not right now in my life, like the other people can. I also think that looking at social media all the time, I compare myself to the other women on the platforms, wishing I could wear that cute outfit or be that spontaneous or not care what other people think about me. But I look at those models and be like, no, I can't wear that outfit. I can't be like that person because it's not me. It's not a person who is similar to me. Their body type is different. Their personality is different. It makes me feel alone in life, being able to see all those people that aren't me and someone I could never live up to being. But it makes me feel depressed. It makes me feel alone. It makes me feel like I'm not living my life to the fullest because I'm not doing what the people on social media are. I'm just sitting in my town, going to school, not living my life to the fullest compared to those who are on social media. As for being on social media, it does not only affect everyday average people like you and I, but it also affects celebrities as well, in which people might forget that they are human too. Naomi Oscar is a famous Japanese tennis player who withdrew from the French Open after the organization had fined her $15,000 and threatened to disqualify her after she skipped a post-match news conference after her first round victory. She had challenged the traditions of the sport. It was noticeable that she was not happy answering reporters' questions and found them torturous. She opened up about having experienced deep anxiety over fielding the journalists' questions. She even mentioned that she battled with depression after her 2018 US Open victory. Her story shows that being in the public eye, being in the media, changes a person's mental health. And here are my sources for my information and my photo sources.